Hey there YouTube, it's me for Wellness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the first of this month's Korean toy reviews. Yes, unusually this is going out on the first day of the month, on the 1st of March. The reason being I got this figure last month. The reason it's delayed or late, I should have reviewed this last month but I was unable to because I ordered my Korean toys a week later than I would have normally. Mainly because I was trying to avoid shipping delays due to the Korean Lunar New Year public holiday celebrations, which tends to slow things down when people have a public holiday. It's like the Koreans' equivalent of the Chinese New Year, only not quite as grandiose. Anyway, so my Korean figures arrived a bit later in February than they would have done normally, and I only had enough Saturdays slots left to do one review. And that's the review you saw last week, which was Metal Carbot S Blue Cop Trinity. But today I've got a figure from the Hello Carbot toy line, a toy line that is I like quite a lot. I've probably got more Hello Carbot figures in my Korean toy collection than any other brand. It's the toy brand that I started collecting with Hello Carbot Starix Dandy back in 2015. And yeah, I was so impressed with him I decided to buy more of them, and next thing you know I'm hooked onto buying Korean plastic, and here we are, like 10 years later with over 200 bots playing Korean toys to my name. Yeah, so there's that. Now, you saw my unboxing video yesterday where I showed this figure, but I didn't say much about it because I didn't want to spoil my review. So if you're coming here looking to see my opinion on this figure, then here you are. You're gonna get the lowdown on what I think of it. Right. So the figure in question I'm going to be reviewing today is this guy, Hello Carbot Victor. Now he's one of the newer sort of figures. When did it come out? 2024. So well, what was it? January of last year this figure was issued, so it's fairly new. It's a little over a year old. God knows what season of the show it came out in, because Hello Carbot's been going for 10 years. In fact, last year they had their Hello Carbot All Stars, which was like it was like the 10th anniversary of the show, where they did reissues of a lot of the older molds, usually with repaints or crystal versions. This was a new character that was introduced for a version of the show. Like, I don't know what season they're on now. They're probably on about season 16, 17, whatever it is. It's been going. They seem to crank out 2 seasons a year. But anyway, so this guy, I have watched an episode with this figure in. He's very gung ho, very bold, brash, kind of obnoxious. He's like a superhero. He goes whizzing around doing all sorts of heroic deeds, and yeah, he's a bit bold and headstrong, and yeah. So that's Victor in a Hello Carbot's Victor in a nutshell. Yeah. So here's the box. Anyway, it's a big sturdy box. It's got pictures on the side and on the back and on the top, and then product information on the bottom. Comes with the usual sheet of instructions on glossy paper, but no, black and white instructions on both sides. This figure also came with stickers, so it came with decals that you apply to the vehicle mode to make him look a little bit more flash, because his base vehicle mode is quite bland otherwise. And it also came with the little chip that goes in the activator watch, which you twist, it makes lights and sounds and does lots of voice clips from the character from the show, all in Korean. So anyway, here he is in his up mode. So Hello Carbot Victor, as you can see, he's a big sort of like custom pickup truck, which is pretty cool. Sort of a very deep blue. Obviously you've got the stickers that I've put on. You've got this sort of like eagle logo on there, and he's got these big sort of like flashy swooshes down the side. Typical Korean figure, very chunky, very solid. It's got massive pinned wheels. It rolls extremely well. The wheels have got a nice sort of alloy wheel design on them, even though they're not picked out in paint. It's got a big silver grille. It's got yellow lights on the transparent or translucent yellow lights on the front. and yeah, it's all right. It's got wing mirrors. It's got blacked out windows. Now you look on the side of it. Oh yeah, it's got red tail lights painted on the back. Now you look on the side. Look at the wheelbase. It's all right at the front, but it's got a lot of overhang at the back. Now there's a reason for this. Now this figure is a retool, repaint, rehash of an older Hello Carbot mould. In fact, it's probably the oldest Hello Carbot mould that they've based this on, that being the original Santa Fe Ace. So this mould is a heavy this mould is a heavy retool and rework of this mould. So they are basically the same. So they look totally different vehicles. You know, this is like a Hyundai Santa Fe SUV, and this is just some generic sort of custom pickup truck. But if I just do this, you can see the wheelbases are exactly the same. They're exactly the same wheelbase, and that's because they're the same mould. Now if you look underneath, you can kind of see some similarities. You've got like the feet at the bottom, you can see the knees in the middle, you've got the shoulder bits here, and then you've got sort of the waist up here. But it's not really apparent in alt mode how similar these moulds really are. But anyway, so let's put him to the side. So like I said, it's a big, large, pickup truck, very heavy, very chunky, rolls extremely well on these large wheels. Not much more you can say about it really. It's pretty cool. Now, being a Hello Carbot figure, it's got a fairly intuitive transformation, very simple. As with the original figure, it basically transforms the same way. So to start off with, you grab the sides of the vehicle and then just pull them out like so. Oh, there we go. And that brings out the arms. So then you go around the front. Then you unplug, bring up the chest, and split the legs, flip down the feet. Also he's got weapon storage inside his leg. Here's his weapon, and you can unplug that. So he's got like a fancy axe for his weapon. So that's that. The arms, you've got these sliders, or these hinged things. So that comes up, and there's a little peg there. That comes up, and then that clips into there. And then the arm, it unplugs, then folds back, and then pegs in to form the arm. So I'll do it on this side. You got that comes up, plugs in, and this comes up, comes back, plugs in, and there's the arms. Now on the back, you got the windscreen. You turn it round, and then there's a little sort of like a little key hole here and a little plug there. Then you right, okay, do this again. Right, you bring that up, that brings his head up, that plugs in at the back, and then just get everything sorted out. And there we go, there is Victor in his robot mode. Now if I quickly go and transform this guy into robot mode, and just give me a moment, I'll be back in a jiff. Right, so there we go, there's Ace in his robot mode, and then put the two side by side. Now, hang on a minute. There we go. That's got that. Right, So there we go. As you can see, they're quite similar. They do look different because obviously this guy's had a lot of a lot of work done, remoulding, restyling bits, like the legs have been totally reworked. He's got a new chest. The design of the arms is very similar. You've got the overlapping sort of panels which peg in, and there's that. And yeah, so it's a rework, retool of this mould. This is a rework, retool of this mould. Now, thing is, like I said, this mould came out in 2014, so it's over 10 years old, and it's a half decent mould. You know, he's got head rotation, got a little bit of light piping with that gem on his forehead, ratcheted shoulders, arms go in and out, ratcheted elbows, 5 swivels, somewhat limited knee joint, and that's about it really for this guy. So he's got a simple articulation. Articulation on this guy, basically the same. We've got a ball jointed head, shoulders go all the way around on a ratchet, arm comes out that far, now the elbow, now the wheels get in the way of the shoulders, so he can't quite get 90 degree on his elbow. Nothing at the waist, 5 swivels, again very limited knee articulation, 2 clicks to like 45 degrees, and that's your lot. Oh yeah, the hips, don't forget the hips. Hips are ratcheted, go out, they go forwards, they go back. Right, so it's got basically the same level of articulation as the original, and the age of this mould shows on this new toy that came out last year, that it's you know, they haven't updated the mould, they've just restyled it, rejigged it, remoulded it as a new character, but they haven't brought the engineering or the articulation up to date. Like they could have done a waist joint on this guy. I think the arms are slightly worse because the overlapping panels on the arms don't clear very well, and they could have done something to increase the articulation on the knees as well. So yeah, the age of the mould shows through. Even though it's a new toy, because they've based it on an old mould and they've not made enough improvements or changes to it, it's, you know, it just shows. It's a pretty chunky, solid figure otherwise. I mean, he's got nice sort of solid, chunky legs. As you can hear, he's got the usual sort of, you know, Korean ratitude going on. So he's all right. He's got some nice colours going on. He's got the silver bits on his shoulders. He's got his silver grill. Obviously, he's got his head. He's wearing a sort of like a skull cap type dude. He has got a bit of light piping going on with the head. The legs are very chunky and boxy, with like, you know, sort of angular, sort of squarish sort of details, and obviously the transformation on the foot is just 2 clicks, whereas on Ace it's got like a double action transformation. You've got one flap and then you've got the foot. So because the design of Ace's legs are a little better and more fancy than the legs on Victor. Victor's are kind of blocky, but his has got a lot more sort of shape and design to them. So yeah, it's It's a little disappointing in that regard. I mean, I would have preferred them to have done a bit more with this mould to bring it up to date, but they didn't really. They just reshaped it and repainted it to form the new character, and that's about as much as they did with it. I mean, I can understand why they wouldn't go into it and re-engineer some parts to improve the articulation, because that all costs money, and this was just a cash grab, really. Just a oh, we've got this mold, lying around from 10 years ago, let's repurpose it as a new character. Yeah, Hasbro do it all the time, as we know. Anyway, his accessory is this axe. Now, he has got holes in his fists, but they don't go all the way through, so it just rests in the top of the hand, and that gives him his sort of chopper. Also, he has got a bit of a butterfly joint going on there for, sort of bringing his shoulders back, which can give you a few more extra, articulation, joints. It's okay. I've sort of been thinking about getting this guy for a while, and this month I decided to go for it. When I say this month, I mean February, because this video is going out in March. Well, I bought it last month in February, so yeah. So in February, in February, I didn't quite get the figure that I really wanted, which was Metal Carbot S Gigantrex. I wasn't able to get one of those. However, hopefully when you see this video, I will have secured one, because there was one. A couple of days ago, I found one that came up on Gmarket, available to me to ship in the UK. I'm hopefully going to make a play on it, so fingers crossed I'm going to be getting it this month. So, this guy is all right. Yeah. Hello Carbot Victor. Somewhat disappointing, because it's just a retool, rehash of a figure that's over 10 years old, but a pretty smart looking bot otherwise. Very solid and chunky, but otherwise disappointing. So that's been my review of this thing. I've been TFR Wilderness. Hopefully you've watched this video, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.